Hey guys, what's up? And despite it all, we are back with Inscryption. I just finished editing the last episode last night. Um, I hate to admit this. It took me another year since I recorded those episodes to get around to editing them. So listen. All that cutting and splicing really took a toll on me. Okay, I had to take like several months of break in between. I'm just kidding. That's not how it went. I just procrastinated it for like the whole year, and then I did them all in like 2 days. The past couple of days. So I got no excuse. But that does mean though, I have internet now. Not only do I have internet now, I internet. Why did I say it like that? I know why I said it like that. I'll be honest. Well, I'll admit that embarrassing thing after I finish what I was saying. I have internet now, so we can do the bonus episode with like the ARG content and possibly a secret ending. I swear to God, I saw somewhere that there was like a true ending or like a secret ending, but then I saw somewhere else that there were no multiple endings in the game. So I guess maybe they meant there's no branching, like choice based endings, but also we might be barking up the wrong tree here, and that's okay. Um, because there's still interesting things to be had in the game left. I only have 26 out of 40 achievements. I will not be recording myself getting all of those achievements. I might not get all of those achievements to begin with. Maybe I will if I'm like bored and I want to replay it someday. But I've been trying to like be a lot more chill about 100% in games, like beyond the like story content in terms of like gameplay, because I usually force myself to do that those kind of achievements just to get that 100%. Especially with something as little as 40 achievements, but or I guess less than 20 now. But yeah, so I'm in the mood. Internet's back. I finally decided today's the day. It's currently election day in America, so I'm gonna try and wrap this up a little bit quickly. Uh, you know, just so I can focus on that later today. But for now, it's time for Inscryption. Now, the reason my I think my voice is a little weird right now. It's getting less weird as I talk. I'm starting to talk more and more like myself. I embarrassing admission on my end. While I was editing the episodes, and today, while my roommate Abbey has been at work, I have been reading Inscryption dialogue to myself in the voices I chose for the characters because I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm like proud of my voice acting work because like I don't think it was that good. I hope it enhanced the story a little bit for you guys. Um, aren't bonus episodes fun? We can just like sit here and talk and not worry about like, oh, there's a story to get to. Oh, the 1 hour time limit. Um, like I've ever listened to myself with the 1 hour time limit to begin with. Anyway, um, Archivist episode 13. Anyone? 12 maybe. There was a big ass episode that I used in the Archivist fight. Anyway. Oh, speaking of Archivist and voice acting, my biggest regret for the voices that I gave the characters was 100,000% the fact that I gave the Uberbots the same voice as the scribes, just because I thought that they were like PO3's version of the talking animal cards. That's not the case. They just lived in their houses. Um, what I think is closer to being the case is A, they're just robots like, the smelter, the inspector, etc., right? They're just robots that PO3 made, and they're like programs that he like loads up. Or B, which is my preferred interpretation, just based on what the Goo Mage said, they are sort of aspects of his personality that he can emphasize and manifest to create a character for his D&D world, sort of like how when you're DMing in real life, or really story writing in like any capacity, you put yourself into your characters, like just both experience wise, knowledge wise, and like emotionally and personality wise. You put a lot of yourself into your work, and I think in order to DM, I think PO3 does that, but like in a kind of cynical, calculated, computery way, where he just sort of sections off a part of his personality and like keeps it on a file to draw upon later. Um, I really like the different ways each scribe DMs. Um, how Grimora and Leshy, uh, you know, well, I guess all of them are pretty intimate settings except for Magnificus, and even then, his fight was under strenuous circumstances, I suppose. Um, but I really like how their approaches to having fun themselves while also making an entertaining experience for the player, because like the more you think about like each of their actions, like apart from all of the old data stuff, we'll get to it, don't worry, and like the like real life, like, oh, the agencies after Carter, like shit, right? Like there's something hidden in the game that cannot be awoken. That apart from all of that shit, all of like the meta story, um, like if we were to hypothetically think of this game as it was, like just in its original, normal, non-old data incarnation, if that ever existed to begin with, uh, you really, if you approach it from that perspective, you really see how each one of these scribes is completely about what they're about. They love this shit. PO3 really loves like game balance and like mechanics and like stuff like that, right? Um, like he added a fifth row, he added like the Dark Souls like mechanics, he had a whole like interactable like map, you know? Um, Grimora, I think she would have hypothetically really leaned into the strategy, like maybe like adding limitations to encourage creativity type approach, just based on her like grid based map that looked like a chessboard that reads as strategy and limitation to me. Uh, Also, that the part where she goes all in on the pirate character only for the mask to be instantly deleted breaks my heart, man. Like, it's funny. I know it's funny. I know I laughed a little, and I think everyone laughs at least a little bit at that scene. But God, when you like, when it like hits you afterwards, it like how disappointed she is that she didn't get to have a boss fight in the game. It breaks your heart, man. She's so enthusiastic about like role playing as a like skeleton pirate or whatever. That's awesome. That's so cool. You know, obviously, I think Leshy is the most fleshed out of them. Obviously, we get to see his sort of like philosophy and approach. Like, you know, the victory is that much sweeter the more arduous the ascent is towards like the peak or whatever he said, right? Um, you know, it's fun. He's ironically, unlike PO3, he really is like a Dark Souls player. He loves the misery because it's like fun to struggle and then succeed. Dark Souls games aren't miserable. That's a hoax, but you know what I mean, right? Um, the archetypical, like as a game designer, Miyazaki, Dark Souls creator, uh, you know, has said that he's like a total like um, masochist. That's the word that I was thinking of. I had to pause so I could think of it. Um, yeah, he said before that he's like a total like masochist when it comes to like video games, and he like designs the games, you know, to the extent that he still designs them as a producer. He designed the genre to be a genre that he would have fun failing at, and I think Leshy's a lot like that. I said it earlier in the playthrough. I think, given the chance, he would swap places with us like instantly. He wouldn't even have to think about it. He would love to be a little rat squabbling for scraps and surviving every day. He would love that shit just as much as he would being like, you know, the one in charge, if not more. Magnificus is the one we know the least about. Maybe Grimora, but Magnificus is one of the two that we know the least about. And he, to me, I think he reads a lot as like spectacle and like grandiosity and like, you know, real RPG head. Do you know what I mean? Even though like the gameplay didn't reflect that at all. The gameplay was like totally like a Yu-Gi-Oh duel, like like what is that one game where it's like chess but it's like 3D like warriors fighting each other? I bet he loves that shit, like Warhammer tabletop like game type shit. I bet he loves all of that, right? Um, him and PO3 are the real strategy heads, I think. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. It's so cool. All of their characters. I love how beyond their game design differences, in terms of personality, I love how Magnificus in his last moments. I don't know if this is true. I hear there's lore in the Airdrie stuff we're gonna do, so maybe we'll learn more about these characters. But I interpreted his tone in the finale. First of all, loud ass music. I was aware of it at the time and a little stressed out, but I didn't want to mention it and ruin the magic. Um, I think I voice acted him way too calm, and it was because my voice probably hurt after recording all those episodes. After like a year of not like doing little voices, I was suddenly talking like this again, and like, you know, it sucks all at once, especially several hours in a row. But yeah, I think it did a fine job. But yeah, I think his dialogue reads to me as very bitter and frustrated, which I think anyone with future sight would be, obviously. It reads disappointed in you that he knows you're going to still interact with the old data, even though it's going to kill you and everyone he knows. Um, he he really goes all out on his fight despite the lack of resources. You know, he like makes his own point system that he wildly overestimates the length of. Um, you know, he sets as much up for you as he can, despite not having like a bell or a scale or anything like that. Well, he has a bell, but you know what I mean, like the ding, the bellhop bell, ding, you know, ding. It's ugly voice crack. Anyway, yeah, cool shit. Love this shit. Oh, the goo mage thing, right? Magnificus and the goo mage. We saw that painting in like the void, right? We saw it like whited out on the side of the goo mage. Do you think? So at the time, I was like, oh no, he rejected goo mage, right? Do you think in their final moments together, what if he didn't reject the goo mage as his apprentice? What if he finally embraced him as like a treasured member of his like inner circle, but then goo mage got deleted, and out of grief he slathered white paint over it because he couldn't bear to look at him anymore, right? Again, this characterization, I don't know if it's supported in the game at all. That's in my heart what I have been pondering. Because I don't think I can really see a situation where like, you know, because he's the painter. The goo mage wouldn't have painted over it, right? Like, he painted it, I guess. So maybe he did. But why would he white out himself? Inadequacy, maybe feelings of inadequacy. I don't know. You could probably interpret it both ways. I would like to think, just based on his speech about like, you know, nothing beautiful ever lasts, an entire creation destroyed, a world annihilated, like while he's painting that like beautiful like starscape with the big red planet in the middle. I love that part of the fight, by the way. Haunting. Just based on that glimpse of sentimentality that you see in him, unlike all of his like, you know, harsh and torturous methods up until this point, I think it really characterizes him in a way that like you can almost understand why the goo mage is so desperate to get his attention and confident that there is affection to receive from him, right? I love these characters. I know why PO3 had to get his head ripped off. I will say I wish that we had gotten some final moments with him. I know why we didn't, and that was the correct choice. But I'm a tragedy sicko. I love to see how the human spirit, because all four of these characters are very human, even if they literally aren't in several cases. Like, what the fuck is Magnificence? I don't know. Is he just like in a like ghillie suit? Is he a bush? Like literally? 9/11? But yeah, like even if they're not literally human, they're all very human. Like representations of the human condition, obviously, because a human made this. This is art. And so I love seeing how the human spirit reacts to tragedy and loss and their own downfall, especially. Like, seeing the final moments of someone's life is, I think, one of the most insightful things in art, or at least, you know, pondering how somebody reacts to such grave news. And that's why I really love the finale of this game, because it's a lot of that. It adds so much like depth and dimensionality to each of these characters, especially the ones that we haven't seen up until now, because this is pretty much all of their characterization. But like even Leshy, who we see by far the most in this game, gets a whole new side to him that's hinted at in Act 2, but really doesn't come out in full force until it like really hits you in the heart in the finale, where he treats you like an old friend, and he wants to keep playing until the very end. Breaks my heart, man. So all that geeking aside, I've watched the last couple hours of this game, but from the editing, but it has still been several years since Acts 1 and 2, and even the first half of Act 3, it's been a couple of years since I've seen or played that. So, I'm not going to know where all of the secrets are or what we've seen, etc. However, I do have a Steam guide that I did not pull up on my own yet. That's very good and professional of you, Brad. I'll pause it once I'm done with my sentence and do that. But I have a Steam guide that I found that says it's all achievements and secrets. Then I know there's also an IGN guide that says how to get the true ending. So I will be using those to inform what we do this episode. Game Rant, how to get the hidden ending. Is that the one that I saw? I don't know. I'll pull something up. I'll pause for a second. I'll get it all ready for you, and then we'll dive into it, okay? Okay. See you in a sec. All right, so I've done some basic research, I suppose, and I have determined that there actually isn't a lot of stuff that we missed in the base game, from what I can tell. I'm still going through. I got like halfway through it, and then I guess I got impatient. Why am I yelling? I feel like I'm like talking really loud. Whatever. Anyway, in between this clip and the last clip, Abbey got home and said she's now headed out to go vote, but she had a special message for you all. So I guess I will play that right now. Hey guys, Abby's here. She has a special message for you all that she won't tell me, so go for it.
I'm about to head out to vote, and I know this will be uploaded in a timely manner, so I just want everybody to know.
Don't
get
put that
out,
on me.
get out, vote. It's currently, what time is it? It's 4 p.m. The polls close in 4 hours. It's plenty of time to get there. Chase Oliver, 2024. Thank you.
Shut the fuck up. Get out of here. Now, wasn't that something? Okay, so back to business. So, in terms of Act 1 secrets, we got like all the ones that aren't just like, oh, if you do this, you'll get this gameplay benefit for one of your runs. So I'm not going to do that. I don't know if there's any story stuff we missed. I don't think so. It's pretty straightforward, you know, at that point. Act 2, however, there was something I missed. I would like to do that now. Okay, here we go. We're recording, right? Okay, yeah, sure are. Hopefully I can access it if I'm like starting this act early. Starting this act over again. Yeah, can I like... Yeah, fuck your intro. This shit was so cool. Shooketh, shaken, shunk. Interesting that we arrived with the moon there. There's a lot of moon imagery. Who the hell is this bitch? She's just starting deck. Give me Leshies. And get me out of here.
What is this?
Silence, Carter. Oh my god, the bridge isn't repaired. I know you used that new game card again. You probably wanted to try a new starter deck or something. I get it. But like, sorry, I haven't been doing the voice. But like, I have to restart on this bridge every time you do that. So take it easy, right? Woof. It's hard to get back into the swing of things after a long break. I hear you, sister. I gather that momentum. Yeah. How do I... Yes, I'm sorry to skip through your dialogue, Grimoire. I really am, but I have to... Ugh. Can I be so honest? Not doing this. Get me out of here. If I have to, like, replay literally half of the... Literally half of the, like, act, then I'm not doing it, I think. So I'm gonna put it up on screen here, right? This is one of the secret images that you can find in like a back room of the Magnificus's like tower. There's like a there's like a secret room back there that isn't part of one of the apprentice's puzzles that I did not go down, I think. If I did, I'll be laughing at myself while editing. But I remember being irritated by that. So on screen, did I do this in one of the whatever? It's on screen. I don't know what it is. It's like an ID or something. We saw that during like the old data thing. So yeah, that's the only secret I think I missed in Act 2. So what is there in Act 3 secrets? Let me see for a sec. Alright guys. So turns out I don't think there is any secrets left in the game for me to find easily. I'll be real, I do not want to have to play through an entire like other third of the game because I don't know if I would have my Ouroboros if I did that. So yeah, there are a bunch of secret, like not secret, but um, there's a there's a lot of files and images that I missed in Act 3. Um, I I guess we could do a section on that maybe. Um, but maybe I'll insert it somewhere. I don't know. But right now we are doing the ARG stuff. So according to the Game Rant article, I know Game Rant, but hear me out. So there is a video that is called the true ending, or at least it's some sort of like epilogue or something. That's what our goal is. So, um, the there are like a bunch of like cipher codes and shit, and we noticed this one, um, the mycologist 12 perhaps blood letterbox thing. So, um, that's why we're here on this screen, right? Because at the very least, they don't gate off this shit. They should have added a couple more sections. Okay, I don't know why Act 1 got several sections in it, but not like, I don't know. I'm glad they let you chapter select to secret hunt, but it could have been a little easier. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being lazy. So on the post-it note, I already read the post-it note. So I was wrong. It's not mycologist 22. It is 12. I fucking knew the 1 and the 2 looked the same, and I knew that would be a problem. But hey, you know, that's why we have guides. Luckily, it wasn't required for the main game, right? So the mycologist 12 refers to the hidden boss in part 3, obviously. When it's defeated, we get that long string of numbers 9, 18, 23, 44, and 89, 010. So that is the first part of the cipher. Then the perhaps refers to a fake name in the credits of the game, Louis Natas. Natas, the astute of you might know, or if you've played any of Daniel Mullen's games before, that is the reverse of Satan, by the way. And Louis backwards is Seol. So, yeah, there's a reference to one of his past games, Louis Natas, in the credits. The Hex is the previous game. We've discussed how there's a couple of Hex references and Pony Island references in this game. I don't know how important those are, but this one is meant to catch your attention so that you can use it as the cipher. Within the credits, which actually let's take a look at right now. All right, welcome back. As you can see, we are now looking at my own footage of the credits here. Louis Natas, which has an H in it, which this guide does not say has an H in it. I don't know. Maybe there's this is pretty remarkable. Maybe it changes at some point. Can this bitch get off my screen? Golly, get out of here. It doesn't seem to be changing. Anyway, apparently this link here takes us to a URL. So let's test that out. Ah, I see. All right, I've moved on from the game rant. I'm on the actual ARG Google Doc now. So apparently it is not these credits that it is in. It is in the other credits from like the main menu. I think we like watched those at some point, like maybe in episode 1 even. Still Louis Nathas. So Lou Natas is the Game Funo CEO from Hex, right? Natas backwards Satan. I've mentioned this, right? So apparently is related to lines in both Pony Island and the Hex a beeper, perhaps? So I wouldn't have gotten that. I've forgotten most of the dialogue from those 2 games. Good games, by the way. Play them, but yeah. Inside the link, a string of numbers can be seen after the asset name and before question mark. The number of characters is the same number of characters as the clue. I was wondering what... So it was too pixelated in the credits that I was looking at, so I didn't know what the question marks were. Okay, so they were question marks. That's why we didn't just go to the fake URL. So yeah, there's that. And then blood letterbox. By setting your screen into letterbox mode, you can see extra text in the Bone Lord cutscene. And the text is this code here, which is Bone Lord 666 in Leet speak. Yeah, sure enough, there it is. So the solution is this, right? Each of those corresponds to each of these three codes. So this is cipher 1. You go into the in-game console. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. All right, we're back. I had to restart that section, so we're a different little guy. Look like Jack Manifold. Anyway, so is this too loud? Verging on it maybe, but who cares? So what we do apparently is we type Control C. That's Z. Control C. Control C. See, this is a very bad time for my keyboard to not have letters in it. Where the fuck is the C key? I swear to God, it's that. What's going on? How do I do this? 1 moment. Fuck, I have to restart Act 2 again. Shit. Oh, by the way, Kaycee's mod is another thing. We'll talk about that at the end of this episode. Yeah, swipe data and restart clip. And Control C. Okay. Okay, I'm in. Okay, so first we type cd old data. Okay, we're in the old data directory. Open log.txt. Decode log.txt. Enter cipher. Here we go. All right, brain, don't mix up any of these numbers. 918 2 3 4 4 8 9 0 1 0. Mark. 833 93 44 question mark mark 8043 exclamation point $sign 702D capital D. I don't know if that's important or not. Exclamation point $sign 666. Please work. Enter. Okay. So what does all this mean? 1C. Yeah, it did. Poor old Barry Wilkinson. We heard about Barry from the tarot cards that the trader gave us. Poor old Barry Wilkinson, aka Big SE:167B. That's some crazy shit. A big ear. Big ear. We also know about Big Ear. Probably from the same card, actually, now I'm thinking about it. Big Ear was imprisoned literally hours after these words were written to the disc. We'll ignore all of this garbledy nonsense for now. It'll be important later, I bet. He did eventually get back to the States, but I have not had any luck contacting him. There are actually a shit ton of Barry Wilkinsons. It might not even be his real name. 2C. Eureka. Most unenthused Eureka of my life. I'm locked in right now. Sorry. That explains so much, actually. I could not figure out why the disc would be tossed into a crate with a bunch of blank ones. Barry's plan to smuggle it out this way seems contrived at best, but I can't imagine the pressure he was under over there. Indeed, Barry, indeed. Fuck you too, Mr. Kaminsky. They never told us that. Yes, he is equally angry in person. So what does any of that mean? Let's move on over to this again. So the combined unusual text is this, which results in a new cipher code. SE167 BP true, 23K second floor, archive new game. All right. So taking this, I hope you're not disappointed in me not figuring all this out myself, because this is fucking insane. Story event 167, Bone Lord puzzle true. Editing the save file will do this. Open save file with any text editor. And it'll give you this code. We're not going to do all that right now. I can open a file in a text editor and change it, but I don't think there's any reason that it's like needed, since we already know. If it's like some lore shit, I'll do it. But if it's just another part of the cipher, then, you know, all good. 23K2 matches up with a series of sticky notes on Luke's computer that I also noted. I also noticed that, yes. 2 in Carnoffel is called a pig. Let's get this out of the way right now. But don't spoil me on what it is. Carnoffel is a card game, a German card game. The 2 in a Carnoffel deck is a pig. That's what they mean here. So 3 refers to the Mantis God because it's the only card with a tri-attack, and the K refers to the King, which is equivalent to the Rat King card. You would think Kingfisher would also work. But I'm sure they tried that, you know? Okay. By playing the cards that the clue's referring to in a given order, their names change to S-T-O-P. Stop. Let's make stop the first part of the code. Here's a save file with only the needed cards in the deck. Yeah, I'm especially not doing all that shit. The floor part, the solution's initially found in an unintended but cooler way. How it was initially found, in the same video there was a sticky note with mirror rorim floor reversed becomes roof. Looking at Leshy's roof, you can see the safe code and holes in the shack's rooftop. Using the number of holes as numbers, you can make code 27341. But it was later found that the real solution was hidden in the game file assets for the floor textures, and the holes in Leshy's roof were just a coincidence. That's extremely funny. Yeah, you're just supposed to like look at the floor assets that have hidden numbers in the texture, which actually this is pretty cool too. There's 2, 7, 3, 4, 1. Huh. And that combined is stop 27341. Okay. And then archive new game. Can interpret it as archivist new game. These are 2 separate clues. Oh my god. Archivist refers to the archivist.zip boss. During its flight, music has a beeping Morse code hidden within it. That translates to big ear. We noticed that Morse code, and I think I translated it in the episode. New game refers to the new game button flickering inside the sealed box in Part 3's incinerator room. If its flickers are Morse code. Translates to no chance. We use hashtag for spaces, so it becomes no chance. Big ear money, no chance. So here's the... I am learned too much. I didn't read that when we went over that. That's a very funny solution. Okay. Do the same thing as the first cipher, but type in a new cipher. Okay. What did I type in? Oh. Open log.txt. Decode log.txt. Enter cipher. Let's... one moment. Sorry, I just had to make sure that my game capture was correct. I had to swap it back to the game. So, the new cipher is I am LRNED 2MCH break stop 27341 break big ear $, no hashtag chance. Fuck is this? Did I type it in wrong? Hold on. Praise the Lord, everybody. I just realized something. This shit allows you to copy and paste. I don't get it. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? One moment. So I will note I didn't save the log last time, so maybe we should do that, which I just did, and maybe now we can do this one. Here we fucking go. Here it is. Check this shit out. This was probably here before, actually. Not before, but like right before I like just redid it this last time. Look, it's fucking Polish. I don't speak Polish. So we will be moving our ass over to the document to see what the translation of that is. I couldn't crack that encryption. Yeah, neither could I. I shouldn't even be, but what can I do to kill the fucking time? Fucking idiot. The fate of the world if you consider the far-reaching effects. And throw it into a chest with lots of identical discs? Now I have to kiss these fucking Russians' shoes or risk the worst fucking fate. They swear a lot in Poland, huh? I certainly have better things to do than read and reread this top-secret disc. But no, fucking idiots at GameFuna have to finish their game. It's a fucking cover, people. Nobody will play it. Just give me a clone of the Super Weasel Kids so I can print it out so I don't get a knock on my door at 11 o'clock by an 8-foot Russian. Okay. Okay. So what does that mean? I'm not sure what any of this dialogue adds up to be fair. Maybe I need to like brush up on my like hex lore knowledge. Like, do I understand any of this? Is that needed? Because GameFuna is from the hex. So anyway, adding up all those things once again. We're gonna save log.txt, of course. The third cipher code, okay? Back to beginning, Manatee, Birchkin, 5657M. Back to beginning. The creator of the game participated in the Ludum Dare 43 game jam and created Sacrifices Must Be Made, which is the itch.io game that eventually became Inscryption, if you guys don't know. You have to play the original Game Jam version of the game, and if you place a file named cipher.cipher in the Sacrifices Must Be Made _data folder, then the game will be slightly different, adding extra text that says "White lies ahead." Okay, very interesting. Just checking to see what the time for this video is. Next is Manatee ##. Custom smash up faction the creator made. The Aqua Romans, also mentioned in the game, I remember that, which includes a card called Manatee Antony. Code is simply the name of the card Antony with some trailing hashtags to fill in the space. Ba-ba-ba. Cool. Cool. Then we have Birchkin $56-57M. Birchkin is a monster from Catch Monsters, a failed Kickstarter by the creator. Aw. Heartbreaking. The demo for the game's not been updated in years. Just taking swings on him? Why is that relevant? Birchkin has the ability of pacifism in the Catch Monsters game, which would make the answer pacifism. Then the 56-57M is referring to the game Beneath the Surface, also used for the Hex secret ending. Oh my fucking god. I know this game. It's like a ice fishing game. I remember this. If the depth needed to find the strange disc in the game, you need Cypher in your data folder containing the first cipher. The description has a series of words containing numbers and an exclamation point replacing some of the letters. If you do some code cracking shit, you get 0044 exclamation point 3. Which in Leet speak is "Oi!" So, there we go. Let me take a picture of that as well. Alright, and we're going to try and do this again. Decode log.txt with the White Lies Ahead Antony Pacifism 0044 exclamation point 3, which goes, okay, yes, we have some A dialogue now. And I will save the log as well. Okay, this is it. This transcribed journal page reveals the very location of Hitler's corpse and more importantly, the precisely ordered deck of cards in his jacket pocket, the Carnoffel Code. This is some World War II shit? I cracked the encryption last night. My situation here in the USSR is delicate, but I believe this intelligence warrants an action that may blow my cover. I'm now prepared to smuggle the disk out of Moscow to West Berlin, and then on Data Corrupted. For any concerns, please contact Kaminsky Data Storage, MFG. I'm gonna take a picture of that URL, of course, just in case it's not in the guide. Out of Moscow to West Berlin, then on to Boston. The disk is carefully concealed among many blank ones. I believe this plan will work, and if it does not, better to lose the old data than allow the Soviets an opportunity to use it. How fitting. Interesting. So, what is the old data? It's like some war information? Some wartime bullshit? I don't know. Let's see about this link here, right? I'm scrolling. Just a sec, let me get it set up. Alright, I'm at the website. It says orders is full. Seriously, what is wrong with you? Please await packages in mail if ordered. So the reason it says that apparently is a lot of people it's a get replacement for order thing. What is wrong with your product? Seriously, what is wrong with it? And then promotional code. Seriously, you have promotional code? And then address, so I mail you a new one, right? People put their actual addresses in, and they received a floppy disk in the mail, which is a level of dedication I will never have to a game like this. So the mailed disks, images by user Uwawa, one of 3 people that got a floppy disk mailed. 3 different disks were mailed to 3 different people, containing the following files: backup 1, backup 2, backup 3. With all this shit, thank you for playing Inscryption, friend. Combined contents results in this. EFUQZ6HTS0, thank you for playing Inscryption, friend. And then the end, okay? One more cipher code. Thank you for playing Inscryption, friend. It's the solution. So let's decode log.txt again. All good? We see it? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Enter cipher. Thank you for playing Inscryption, friend. And then if we scroll up, well, save log.txt first, in case there's a 5th cipher. It's Russian. I can't read that. Data corrupted. For any quality concerns, contact the thing. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Interesting. So, going back to this, translate it. Me and my comrade Maxim, which is one of the names of the bounty hunters, by the way, in Act 3. Me and my comrade Maxim took photos of the corpse and buried it at the drop-off spot at Data corrupted. We're currently awaiting further instructions in a local tavern, playing a lot of durak, accompanied with a few glasses of vodka. We're full and satisfied, but about our accomplished, we won't say a word to our work today. It seems to us that we've already come to the end of such a long journey. And so there is a YouTube link here that it leads to. We'll get that in a second. Yes, this code leads to a YouTube link here. So I guess let's watch it now. It scared the fuck out of me, actually. Just give me a warning. Damn. Those were sound effects from the finale. $10:19. This is a Carter video. That's a date. Store page configured, screenshots configured, begin upload inscription, upload interrupted. Upload resumed. Upload inscription complete. I'll give it a like, of course. Y'all ever heard Plock soundtrack? Good shit. Anyway. Interesting. So the combined log texts are from Barry Reginald Wilkinson, Big Ear, Maxim, Kaycee Hobbs probably, and unknown possibly Lewis? Okay, so the order. We took photographs of the corpse. Let me see. Okay, so what I'm getting here is that the creation of Inscryption was a cover to smuggle information out of the USSR regarding some code that they decrypted from Hitler, so that whatever they found in the Karnoffel code could not be used by the USSR against the United States interests, or just Western interests in general, I guess. Since this is post-Nazi Germany, but still anti-USSR. So, good news, everyone. Kaycee's not a Nazi. I think. But she might be a Reaganite. We don't know. God rest her soul. So, depending on when this takes place, you know what I mean? So yeah, they're mad at each other about the transfer of this disc that Barry was smuggling. According to the tarot cards in the game, Barry was discovered and killed. Kaycee was also later found dead due to fire or ice related complications. Carter also killed. Government cover-up, I guess, is what is happening. So, okay. The old data folder. Trying to RM the directory old data from the root gives the message you must not do that, which quickly changes to you cannot do that. Doing it again only returns you cannot do that. You can RM all of the file. What is RM? I don't know. I'm not good enough with this shit to know what that means. You can do all the files individually in the old data folder, as well as the save game file in the save game folder, but it does not seem to have any effect. Is this... Is there any... There's no way to, like, figure out any of this shit without, like, you know, I guess going into the bullshit, huh? Like the save game file. Okay. There's an old data folder in there, is what I'm gathering. Using it on the Inscryption folder kicks you out of the game, blah, 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 blah. Old data contains the following files. An image of the Führer bunker, which, right, we know the Karnoffel code came from Germany. It can be seen in the capture during Act 3. Interesting. Content is no longer available. Thank you. This number, file name matches the name of the card created by the mycologist. Okay. Barry Wilkinson, he's the ID. Okay. Photoshop version of Marilyn Monroe's ID. It's funny. Secret room on the first floor of Magnificent Tower. Yep, that's the one I missed, by the way. Image of a woman, presumably Amanda L. or Kaycee. Okay, Amanda is the woman who shoots Carter at the end. I think... I don't know why her name's Amanda. It's redacted in the credits. Maybe we'll find out why we know her name's Amanda. It's probably in the file somewhere. But Elle is his sister, and Kaycee worked on the game. So, she's one of them. Probably not Elle, due to them having different colored hair. True. The Kaminsky logo is in there. A Douse card from Karnoffel. The pig, right? The JPEG name includes the number 1593. I mean, it sure does. What do you... Hitler's jacket pocket? Because he had the cards in there. Were the big ribs Hitler? I'll tell you, I didn't expect that answer, for sure. Kaycee... Kaycee probably stands for Karnoffel code, yeah. It's interesting that they're named the same, though. The suspected drop-off location that they mentioned in the text. And then see decoded content here. Oh, yeah, we already read that. So log.txt is also in the old data. Okay. So extra, the buried floppy disk. Useful for solving the ARG itself, but it's still a very interesting fact. This is just like someone's like little trip. They actually went and found it. A red one and a blue one. Red one's the one used to make the in-game videos. It's been in the dirt at that location since March and does not contain any data. That's nice that they reburied it. That's a fun little treat. The black one supposedly contained a secret. They live streamed it. Clip unavailable. Contained a single file called File, great name, containing the text, "This guy moaned." Hint for the manatee clue. It had already been solved when the floppy drive arrived. It's the name of an old account belonging to Daniel. That's a hilarious name. Um, yes. Okay. The Lucky Carter YouTube channel. It is not canon. It was an ARG before the game's release that announced the like release date. That was not made by Daniel Mullins, I guess. So why do I care? Kaycee's Mod ARG revealed the final boss for Kaycee's Mod, which I guess is a good transition. If there's nothing else here, it's a good transition for us to go back into the game and talk about what we've learned. So be right back. Okay, so we're back in the game. So Kaycee's Mod. Kaycee's Mod is interesting. It's an add-on to the game, an expansion, DLC, I don't know, that it adds an endless mode to the game, based on Act 1, I believe. There's some new content in it, but honestly, I don't know if there's much story content in it, so I probably will not be covering it in the video. Sorry, my phone just buzzed on the desk. I'm probably not going to be covering it. If I do, it won't be in this video, that's for damn sure. So let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about there not being any new story content. I'm sure I'll find out on my own anyway, but you know. Who knows, you might get to me first, right? I might just be slow at researching it. So yeah, that's Kaycee's Mod. Really cool because I do really love the gameplay of Act 1. Alright, I'm throwing my phone. It's on my bed now. Not gonna bother us anymore. You're safe. I probably should have muted it before I did that, but you know what? You can handle a beep or boop every now and then. Okay, so yeah, Kaycee's Mod. I like the gameplay of Act 1 a lot, where it's a lot more roguelite and less deck buildery, even though it is a roguelite deck builder. You know what I mean, right? There's a lot more working with the circumstances you're given in the first act, rather than planning ahead and imparting strategy in the second act. And then the third act, which is kind of RPG-like, I would say, where it's like a kind of open-ish world map, and you like continually gain upgrades and shit to your abilities. It's very RPG-like. I prefer the first act in terms of gameplay, followed by the third, and then my least favorite is the second act. However, in terms of like story content and pacing, I think Act 2 is the most interesting. Well, I mean, we can't count the finale, right? Finale would win instantly in that sense. And I don't consider it a part of Act 3. Act 3 is everything up until they snap his neck, to me. Act 3 is very gameplay focused until you go into the basement and talk to the rest of the scribes. So it's a little... It's my least favorite in that regard in terms of like story and pacing. A lot less mysteries that you're uncovering as you play through Act 3. There's still like the files that you can browse in the videos, and like the text files that show up after you defeat the archivist, and like those images I talked to you about, which I'll see if I can pull them up after I finish what I'm saying here. But yeah, there's not a lot of like meat on them bones, right? Um, there is an entire secret boss battle. I like that. Um, Now realizing how maybe darkly apt it was that I gave them German accents, the mycologists. I really wasn't trying to go for a Nazi scientist thing. I wasn't. I was going for like a wacky mad scientist kind of vibe. They got both types there in that country. Um, but yeah, I think Act 1 is very long but compelling in terms of just like figuring out who the characters are, right? And then like the twist happens and then you're like, whoa, you know? But I really like the secret hunting of the final two acts, and I like the character development of the final two acts a lot. And I'm gonna snap my phone in half. Hold on. Well, I feel kind of bad for being crabby. It was my wonderful friends inviting me out tonight to so that we could hang out during election night and not be stressed about it. So that's very lovely of them. Um, but yeah, I don't remember what I was saying. I was talking about the differences between the three acts. I enjoy the dynamic. I think it's very balanced. I like the secret hunting in Acts 2 and 3 and the character development within. I love the setup and the world building of Act 1 and the gameplay especially. And then finale is like one of the best climaxes of a game storyline I've ever experienced. So obviously I fucking love that one. In terms of the story content from the secret video and the Cypher code, like log.txt translations, I'm not wild about it, to be honest, for different reasons. The old data being like a military secret World War II type thing, it doesn't really connect with me as like a creative concept, to be honest. It feels kind of like, okay, well, like, I guess the idea of digital entities interpreting the horrors of like real life politics and wartime secrets to be like almost Lovecraftian in nature of like how horrifying they are to them and how inscrutable the encrypted files can be to like their, normal digital selves. I think that might be an interesting thing, and I think that's like what Daniel Mullins was going for. In terms of just like the intrigue and mystique of the world building itself, I don't think it was necessary. The ARG was fun. That's a fun thing to do though, so, fair enough, fair enough. Also, the twist ending of like, but what if PO3 did upload Inscryption and that's what you're playing right now? It's like, okay, all right. Like, that's clever, but also like, fuck you. I don't know. I think if you didn't go for any of the secret stuff in this game, you would have a perfectly good experience. I don't think any of it was required that we explored that was new in this episode. So that's my opinion on that. Valuable to whoever seeks it, but just not something I was ever too interested in, I guess, in retrospect. Like, I guess obviously there was a like government cover up or something going on during the base game, and so I picked up on that obviously. But I think if you dig a little too deep into stuff like that, it could just kind of start being like historic fanfic, and then it's like, all right, well, that's cool and all, but like not what I'm vibing with for Inscryption. It's cool. Like, I don't know, card game. It seems like it came out of left field, even though it was seeded throughout the secrets. It wasn't seeded throughout the narrative, I think, is my main problem with it. I think that's why it's not vibing with me. But um, let's see if we can get some of those images pulled up. Let's see if we can find some of those really quick. Well, guys, that's a little disappointing. The images. So you remember like the stoat image in like the shop that we saw right before we uh, you know, did the finale last episode? Well, there were more images like that scattered across the map that I didn't know about, so I didn't check. Um, they're just seemingly like random images, but I would have liked to overanalyze them anyway. Unfortunately for us, if I open up the finale, it starts me in the room right before the Great Transcendence, and it does not give me an arrow to go backwards, so I cannot explore the map after all the Uberbots have been defeated. So that leaves me either A, find it online, or B, do the entirety of Act 3 again, which, with no guarantee of whether Orobot's going to be there, I don't know if I'm up to that challenge, especially not within tonight's time frame. So, yeah. Um, so I looked for it online. Nobody else has cataloged these images on any of the wikis or Reddit threads or anything that I could find. Maybe it's in there somewhere. Maybe I just am bad at Googling, but I couldn't find it. And honestly, it's not a big enough deal for me to keep stressing over. So unfortunately, you're going to have to go find someone else's playthrough to see all of that. I've watched a couple playthroughs of this game. Some people go around and like look at them, but I just don't feel right, you know, just sitting down with you and like watching someone else's let's play to look at some like PNG images that probably aren't even important. So we're going to let it go. Which finally leads us into my final thoughts about the game. My final thoughts, because I did basically give my final thoughts on the entire game, chapter by chapter, character by character throughout this whole video. I love this game. My complete disinterest in the information gleaned from the ARG has not dampened that. It's like a nearly perfect game to me, and I hate deck builder like card games. So I don't hate them. I'm just bad at them, which is why I hate them. Completely mad because bad. Don't worry. You don't have to say it. I know. But yeah, the world and the story and the characters and the concept of this game really drew me in and swept me away, and I had such a good time, and I hope you guys had a good time too. Yeah, like I said, Kaycee's mod, endless mode was added. Won't be doing that probably, unless there's a really good incentive to, which the ARG is anything to go by, probably not much for my values of what I find interesting in a game, right? But, you know, I'll probably play it on my own sometime, you know? Probably try and get some achievements in this game. It's a fun game still. It blows me away that this game is fun for me. I'm really happy about that. Because I was worried that things would really take a turn in Act 2, but they didn't. I still liked the game, and I love the game now. So, yeah, that'll be it for this bonus episode. Thank you so much for watching and coming on this journey with me over the past several years. I'm so sorry so many hiatuses happened in the middle of all of it, especially a game like this, where you gotta like remember information and story and shit. It's just, it's World War II. Who cares, right? The meat of it is, the drama of the characters unfolding to me. Uh, and that's what's important for me. And hopefully, if that's important to you, you found this just as satisfying as I did to go through. Um, if you would like to, I'd be honored if you left a comment or a like or something on the video. I know I asked that last video, but that was a whole year ago for me, so let me have this one, okay? Um, and yeah, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next series. Bye.